What's good, y'all? Welcome back to a brand new reaction. This time we got the trailer, a new trailer, the gameplay trailer features for The Last of Us Remaster, or Last of Us Part 1. Been an interesting couple of days for this game. First of all, I was like literally right in the middle of doing my Kage and reaction clips on my Twitter. So if you guys want to check those out, go check out my Twitter because they'll probably already be up by the time this video is live on the channel. But anyway, I was working on that, then I saw this trailer got announced, and I was like, so I just worked on what, so I just finished up whichever one I was working on, and then I just instantly ran to do this because, you know, it's a lot with you guys, so I love this game. But, you guys know it's been a couple of days with this game, because the game leaked! Again! Seriously, yo, can we all just acknowledge that Sony or Naughty Dog got some of the worst security ever? Like, bro, first you have The Last of Us 2 leak. You have the story leaking on that one, various cutscenes, all that shit. You guys know I avoided that shit like the fucking plague. Then, of course, this game got leaked. First, it was the announcement trailer got leaked, like a couple hours before it eventually went live. But that could have been something else. That might have not been a Naughty Dog, or Sony for that matter, with that one leaking. But then, of course, various cutscenes of the game and other screenshots of the game leaked as well, which I actually did watch one of them. You guys could probably guess which scene I picked. I saw, because that one I saw on Twitter a couple times, just mostly out of curiosity to see what the game would look like. And Jesus Christ, the graphics and the cutscenes, man. Jeez, the clothing and everything, man, with that scene, and oh my god, the performances. Ugh, there's so much more added with the performance in there, and just, oh my god, so good, so good. But then, of course, as you guys know, eventually later, gameplay leaked as well. Everyone is crying, losing their minds, and how apparently the gameplay looks the same as the first game. Also, I love the fact that all this happened, and so then, like, you know, they, like, Sony scrambles to release this trailer. Now, to be fair, judging from, because I did watch a little bit ahead of it just to see if it was all gameplay or anything, but this one does actually have, like, Neil Druckmann, like, sitting down here, so I wouldn't be surprised if they already had this already done everything, and they were probably going to release this in a couple of days, but then they had to release it today because of the leaks. But then the gameplay leaked to the game, and everyone will say it looks like the first game, which, I mean, I guess, but here's my thing on why I'm not really pissed off or angry at this. Now, yes, we'll find out here, obviously, but it looks like we'll find out here, obviously, what they're going to change with the game, what they're going to add to it and everything, and all that shit. But regardless of how much they don't add to the game in terms of gameplay and everything, I am not pissed off because the gameplay in the first game was still phenomenal, man. So it's gonna be it's gonna be an amazing experience regardless, man. You could argue this really doesn't justify the $70 if they don't give it The Last of Us 2's controls with like prone and everything, which is a fair point. But me personally, I know I'm still gonna love the game, and the gameplay in the first game was fantastic in its own merit, man. So I don't really care either way. I'm going to still play it. And I know I'm going to have an amazing time while doing so, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, enough of me rambling. Let's just jump right in to the actual video, man. Let's see what they have for us and what they've added to The Last of Us Part 1. Have they given it 2's controls and that was just some BS that was leaked, or I'll have to wait and see. Let's go. What do you got for me, Naughty Dog? Lower this. My God, let's just look.
I'm coming.
Listen. Right now, I'm going to say this right now, and I hope I don't pause the video that often, but I'm going to say this right now. Regardless of what you think this game's a cash grab or not, you cannot deny how great this game looks. Look at these graphics. Look at Joel's clothing, bruh, and compare it to the first game. The difference is night and day, man. Look at the fucking clothes. My God, they look amazing.
More than 2 years ago, when we were finishing Last of Us Part 2, and we were working on those flashbacks within that scene for the first game, we got excited with the idea of like, oh man, what if we made The Last of Us Part 1 to look as good, if not better, than what we have done with Last of Us Part 2, which we really pushed the boundaries of like what we could do from gameplay and a graphical standpoint, and felt like if we do that, we could actually come even closer to our original vision of what the first game would have been had we not been constrained by technology.
Rebuilt for PS5.
The original creative vision,
like I said, because of all this,
I think in a lot of ways was larger than what the PlayStation 3 was capable
of. Knowing that Sony had all this production, I won't be surprised this already had.
It's like an open box of tools and goodies that we can play from, draw from.
For this, and they were releasing it like a couple days because they had to expedite it. They just released it today.
Help us to reimagine The Last of Us.
The game was always going to release today. nose.
It gave us
Look at these
opportunities
graphics,
to
bro.
rebuild our characters at the highest fidelity. Not only are the characters more detailed, I mean down to
just
the,
look at the lighting,
irises
bro.
and the
Oh
pupil
my
depth.
God.
You fall into the eyes of the characters. Aside from that,
Bruh.
facial animation is just way more believable. Like all the nuances, all the little subtle reactions, glances, glares, right? Like you get all of it almost closer to sort of the original performances.
So no matter what, you stick to me
Oh,
like glue.
fuck.
Like glue. Got it. Good.
We are able now to not only just have
that's
the
awful,
highest
man.
fidelity characters in the cutscene,
And bro, this fucking music. Oh, so good.
but also in gameplay. It's the same character, so now we can do these seamless transitions in and out. Every part of the game has benefited from seamless transitions and emotional scripting.
Pretty good, huh?
Our stories happen in gameplay, on a stick.
She knew my mom.
All this stuff is
Wait, are
designed
at
to
least shoes different color? Hold on.
keep you constantly
Hold
in
up,
this
hold
world.
up, hold up. It could just be a line, but it looks like her shoes might actually be a different color. They look kind of bluish here, while they look more yellow oranges here, but that could just be the lighting.
All this stuff is designed to keep you constantly in this world.
Riley, come here. Now you got this. Go.
One of the things that the PlayStation 5 is really enabling is that we're able to have a density of physics objects in a scene that we could never do before. Like, this has always been the dream, is to have this number of bumpables, chippables, breakables, destructible objects in a scene. It just makes the world feel rich, makes it feel lived in. Materials can have the properties that you'd expect. The turret truck in Pittsburgh, when it's firing at you and it's just ripping apart the concrete and sending objects flying left and right.
Seeing things break, like there's fear, there's a real fear that it invokes.
And it's giving us a much more dynamic range of gameplay to play with.
Surround him!
Our AI tech has just increased incredibly. What we were building the basis off of was The Last of Us Part 2's AI. And it has sophisticated systems for things like the fundamental knowledge model of how these NPCs perceive and understand what the player is much more sophisticated.
Now how the enemies are communicating with each other, how they're chasing you, how they're flanking you, how intense that fight feels. It's so much more rewarding coming out of it from the other side.
Get out!
One of the other big AI improvements is the buddies. The buddies technology that we developed for The Last of Us Part 2 has this very sophisticated understanding of like, okay, this is where the enemies can see their exposure. We not only have exposure, we have future exposure.
This is so cool.
So buddies can know, okay, that enemy is walking forward and they're about to round this corner. So in 3 seconds, that corner is going to be exposed. So I'd better move now to avoid this enemy seeing me. This really lets the buddies make very complex decisions and maintain that feeling of stealth much more believably.
That's so cool.
Another big enhancement to the gameplay is that we have this technology called motion matching. Motion matching is this technology that's basically using logic that tries to match the desired movement to a bucket of hundreds of animations. A mocapped actor has gone in and run this whole gauntlet of movements to get a really full set of all the different ways a person can move. And then it's basically every frame trying to find the best matching animation that fits the path of where the character is going to go. And this motion model just gives this really seamless sense of transition. The player's movement is just a lot cleaner. It's this really smooth, organic movement through the space.
First, we just had to build that core experience. And then beyond that, we wanted to add several features that fans have been asking for. For example, we now have a permadeath mode. Along that, we've added a brand new speedrun mode, so players can time themselves. There's a whole community of gamers that just want to see how fast they can play through this game.
That's cool.
Beyond that, we added a bunch more of unlockables. So there's all these different outfits for Ellie and Joel that people can unlock.
That's sick.
A model viewer mode, so people can really appreciate the details. We added award-winning accessibility features.
Every single accessibility option that we offer that's a barrier removed for someone.
As she surveys the apartment, her eyes wander to Joel. She steps past the couch. He wears the wristwatch Sarah gifted him, which now has a cracked face.
To my knowledge, this is the first PlayStation game that has audio description built into the game, built into the cinematics.
Now it's nighttime. Joel stirs in his sleep.
That's actually kind of cool.
And that's really the way we've tried to push the frontier of accessibility on this game.
That's cool.
So much of the identity of The Last of Us is the world.
We revamped completely the art direction. You know, everything from these expansive vistas that not only are they beautiful, but you feel the environments. You feel the environments in a much more visceral way. The rooftops overlooking the Capitol building, for example, like just the breath of fresh air when you go up there and you just like, you feel that sort of release in tension. And then, you know, to juxtapose that down in the tunnels in Wilds, and you get that dank, flooded tunnel feel, that humidity, you can actually feel it. All these environments are just completely reimagined.
Now we got our engine on the PS5, those haptics, the 3D audio, the fast loading. It really creates a much more immersive, and because of that, much more emotional experience.
One of the things I absolutely love with the 3D audio in The Last of Us Part 1 is being able to hear an enemy before they sneak up on you. And trying to do a stalker fight with the 3D audio is just so much fun. You're hearing them skitter around in a different room, and you're hearing them trying to get it behind you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Having that two-part reaction of like hearing, turning, seeing, reacting, it's just really heightens that sense of just being grounded. You are in this character, you are in this world. Now, with the PlayStation 5, the amount of control that developers have over the DualSense, it's really, really cool. All the guns in the game have a variable amount of resistance on the triggers when you aim them. The way it works with the bow is that at the very beginning, when they're starting to draw the bow, there's a little bit of resistance. And then as the bow gets tauter and tauter, the amount of resistance is increasing. And then when you release the bow, you're also getting that resistance going out of the trigger. When you are aiming and firing the shotgun, you're gonna get a haptic vibration on the shot. And then what I think is one of the ways that the DualSense really advances things is you're gonna get a haptic vibration on the pump of the shotgun. And what's much more sophisticated about that on the DualSense is that in effect has a little like speaker in it. And it's playing an audio file that comes through in the vibrations. And those two beats is what you're gonna feel on the controller.
This looks like a good spot.
This also ties in to the new workbench animations. So if you're seeing Joel taking apart a gun or screwing something in or putting a new stock on a gun, that moment where he's like jamming that on.
Yeah, there's one thing they did put in from 2 that definitely allowed you to enhance weapons further and add other shit to what you couldn't do in the original game, but you could do it too. So
you're gonna get that haptic feedback on that.
That's so cool.
We
this
have,
is gonna be so immersive,
haptics
bro.
all across the board, for all the moments you kind of expect, for clambering, jumping, landing, meleeing, getting meleeed, like all those kind of high intensity moments we have represented in the haptics. What I personally absolutely adore is the way we can enhance the really like quiet, subtle moments of gameplay. So it's like when Joel goes in to pet the giraffe, getting that little light touch on the haptics as he's petting the giraffe. To me, that's the essence of The Last of Us. It's the high tension moments, it's the low tension moments, it's all of it feeling grounded. It's you're feeling immersed in this world. It's all about bringing you along with that story in as many ways as we can. And that's what the new technology on the PlayStation 5 is allowing.
So is that everything you hoped for?
Jury's still out.
There's something special about that core experience of playing as Joel and Ellie on this journey. Then to take that experience and really honor it and keep the authenticity of it, but elevate it in every way possible, whether it's pipeline, whether it's art direction, whether it's a technology, everything that allows us to make that experience better. Not different, extremely better. That's why, to me, this is the definitive way to play The Last of Us.
That sure is. Goated. All right. Oh yeah, there's a new Dragon Ball game. I gotta react to that too. All right. Now, no mention of proning or any of the other stuff from the first game that's in here. So obviously none of that is going. So it's obviously basically confirmed now that we are not going to be going prone, and probably a lot of the other gameplay improvements other than like the AI and stuff from the first game, which. Yeah, sucks. I was looking forward to being able to dive onto the ground because I love doing that too. Sucks you can't do one, but hey man, they still had a lot of cool shit. Improved game, improved your photo mode, the AI, the graphics, obviously, the haptics. Oh my god, the haptics. I haven't, guys, I don't got PS5, but oh my god, that is going to be awesome with the haptics. But yeah. Now, yeah, you can say this game ain't worth the $70, and you're probably right because because it's more or less the same gameplay from the first game, just a little bit more enhanced with some things from Last of Us 2. But hey, man, I'm still hyped for the game. I look forward to getting it when I get a PS5, man. And yeah, I'm hyped. I loved it. Looking forward to seeing it. And yeah, man. Anyway, guys, let's turn this video off. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you feel like it. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.